Hey everybody, it's Bob and Rosemary, and we just wanted to do a little video to catch everyone up on where we are. Right now we're in Hot Springs, Arkansas at Treasure Isle RV Park, and it's on the Ouachita River. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Yesterday was rainy and drizzly, but today the sun is shining and it's a perfect day. So let's just get started, and Bob, you tell them what's going on.
Well, to kind of catch you up, I think the last video we did, I was talking about retiring and us going full time. Well, that has happened in October of last year, of 2020. I officially retired from my job, and if you can see it behind us, we bought this big rig. I think we got another video out there actually shows our camper. In November of November 3rd, Election Day, we packed up, pulled out of Vicksburg, and went down to Livingston, Texas. Livingston, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's right there at Baton Rouge, Denham Springs. Our son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter live in Denham Springs, so we spent through the end of December down there, and just to be with them for the holidays. And nice little park down there, Lakeside RV Park in Livingston, has a lake that you can go fishing in, and if you get a good parking spot, you can look out your window and see the lake, and has a swan named Boudreaux.
Yeah.
That kind of rules the roost around there with some ducks and stuff, and it's just a beautiful place. You ever get down toward Livingston, Louisiana, look that up. Look that RV park up. It's a great place to stay. When we stayed there through the end of December, and in January we headed.
We went to become Texas citizens.
Yeah, we went to become Texas citizens. I'll let Rosemary tell you a little bit about that.
We went through escapees, and we went to Livingston, Texas to their headquarters, and they helped us with all the arrangements to get our driver's license and our car, our vehicle registrations, and all the things that we needed to do to become permanent residences. They have a mail service, and so we have an address with them, which is where our mail goes, and when we need our mail, we just check with them and they forward it to us. So that's a really neat arrangement. You know, when you're traveling on the road, you have to have an address, so this is a great way to do that. There's other places that you can do this, but we chose to do it through Texas because that's where we met and got married.
Met in Houston.
When we left there, we had to go back to Louisiana for a short time. Our granddaughter was having a birthday, and we really wanted to be there for that.
We actually left there and went down to Houston and spent about 3 weeks in Houston.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And spent some time with her sister-in-law and
brother-in-law.
Sister-in-law, brother-in-law, spent some time down there, and then we went back to Livingston, Louisiana for our granddaughter's birthday.
Right. So, you want to tell them where we spent the winter?
Yeah. When we got through with, when it was time to leave Livingston, first thing we did was went up closer to DeRidder, Louisiana. Rosemary had a lady up there that she used to work with, and we went up.
Hey, Brittany.
Went there and spent a day up there and got to see her and visit with her. We left there, went back to Houston, spent a day in Houston, a night in Houston, I guess, and then we went down to the Texas coast, close to Palacios, Texas. Little community down there called
Boca Chica.
Boca Chica. It's just a little fishing community. It's between Palacios and Port Lavaca off of Highway 35. And that's where we spent our winter. We were able to find a nice couple down there that had just bought a lot right on the bay, and they had fixed it up for an RV, and we rented it out for the winter. So yes, we went to Texas to get away from the cold, but if everybody remembers, it got cold in Texas.
It got real cold.
It got real cold in Texas for about a week there.
But we survived.
Yeah, we survived it.
We didn't have any problems.
No problems. We had everything set up to where we, had our water cut off, but we had water in our tank to use, and
Bob did a good job of taking care of the RV and making sure that we stayed warm. The propane only ran out one time.
In the middle of the night, and I had to get up and go switch propane tanks, and it wasn't too bad inside the camper. It was only 32 degrees.
But that's what our life is about. Adventures.
Adventures, yes. So that's where we spent
through the end of March.
Did a little fishing, didn't catch really anything. I think the freeze probably killed off a lot of the fish, but you know what? It's not really about catching, it's just about enjoying what you're doing. And that's what we did. Our family actually came down for the weekend, and one weekend, and we enjoyed that. Had a nice time with them. And then we stayed there until April 2nd.
April 2nd, we left, and I had our route all mapped out. We had our reservations made, things I wanted to do and see, and Bob went along with it, but most of it was me asking him, can we do this? The first place we went was to Livingston, Texas, to see Bob's high school buddy, who's now a preacher and has a little church in Yorktown. And so we were there for Easter Sunday, and we really enjoyed spending our time with David and Julie. And then after that, we left and we went to Austin because I wanted to see the bluebonnets. Well, unfortunately, the bluebonnets were not as plentiful as they normally are, but we did see quite a few, and we got out and saw the countryside. And Austin has really, really, really changed since I was there in 1975. So that was a real experience, and that was our first time really pulling through what we would call mountains. I'm sure to some of you it's just hills, but it is the hill country, and we did get some pretty high elevations, but I tell you what, that Dodge Ram 3500 did a great job. So when we left there, we went to Waco because I wanted to go to the Magnolia Market. We did that. We did not see Chip and Joanna, but we had some, we looked at everything they had, and we had one of those good cupcakes from the bakery. And then from there, we went to Tyler, and we stayed at a neat little park there that was right on the Neches River. Is that what it was?
I believe so.
Very small park off the roadside, but we went into Tyler and we did some sightseeing. And if you're ever in that area, go see the Goodman LeGrand House Museum. It's really wonderful. I won't go into the story, but look it up. It's a great place, and you would, if you like old things and old stories, it's really nice. From there, we left and we came.
I almost just want to say one thing there.
Okay.
Tyler, if any of you out there are railroad buffs,
oh yeah,
they have a neat railroad museum there in Tyler, and it's right on the Cotton Belt line there, and
it's the old Cotton Belt Depot.
Right, and it's really neat. It's got a lot of it's got 3 or 4 model trains in it, and just all kinds of stuff on the walls and everything. So if you get a chance, you need to go see that.
It really touched me because I grew up on the railroad. My daddy was a railroad man all his life and retired from the railroad. So I saw lots of things in there that brought back memories I hadn't thought about in years. So when we left there, we came over here to Hot Springs, and we've been here for, well, let's see, we got here Monday and today's Thursday, and unfortunately we're leaving in the morning now that the weather is nice again. But we're headed to Warren, Arkansas, which is Bob's hometown. Bob and I lived there the first 15, 16 years of our marriage. He was fire chief there. We still have family there. Bob's sister and his 2 nieces live there. So we're going to go there for the weekend and spend some time. And then after that, we're going back to Vicksburg to spend a couple of weeks. I need to see my sister. I need to see Faye really, really bad. But we also need to see the doctors and the dentists and catch up on all those things that we should be doing to take care of ourselves. So we're looking forward to future adventures. We've got some more things lined up, and we'll tell you about those later. But right now, we just wanted to hop on here and say hi to everybody and let you know what's going on.
And something else, when we started doing these videos back before I retired, we had our little small camper and everything, we had come up with a name for our videos. It's about time. Well, that's gone. We did what we were going to do, so it's not about time anymore. So we are looking for a new name for our channel, our blog, and we need to come up with one. We would like to kind of try to put our names in it somehow.
I suggested Stead Maneuvers, but he didn't like that. So
it's maybe something we can look at.
Stead Maneuvering.
Anyway,
if anybody has any suggestions, please give us a shout out. Let us know what you think. If we like it, we'll give you all the credit for it. In the meantime,